Knox Props Episode 3. I'm Christian Knox, the Realtor for You, and I'm here with John Buwalda of BMS Inc. Today we're going to talk about home mortgages and what's involved in getting qualified for a mortgage, or a loan rather, how long the process will take, and just a little bit about John and his history and why you as a buyer need to work with him.
Awesome. Sounds like some good information that we're going to give to you guys today.
Absolutely. So John, you're a mortgage lender,
Yes,
and
sir.
you've been doing this for a while now.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about your history? What got you into loan servicing and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. I've been in the industry probably for around 30 to 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I started right out of school, went into banking, got recruited out of banking and went into finance. I managed several offices over the western United States as a banker, finance manager, the finance part of the division of the bank. I eventually, about 18 years ago, decided that I wanted to actually get into mortgage lending, wholesale lending as a broker, which I did. I worked for an independent mortgage broker for approximately 10 years. And then I ventured out on my own, opened up my own business, and that's where we are today. I've had my own business, Buwalda Mortgage Services Inc., DBA Premier Mortgage, for approximately, I would say, I've been licensed for 10, 11 years,
Okay.
but actually operating as such for approximately 5. But been in the business for a long time, have a ton of knowledge, and just learning every day.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it.
Absolutely, and I second that. Whenever I have a hard loan or run into an issue, send them to you. You always find a way to get it done. So really appreciate you.
Yeah, and those are the deals that I love to do. I mean, I like all deals. Of course, the hard ones, the challenging ones are always get me going a little bit more because I don't like to ever say no. I want to find out a way to make things work, and typically we do. We find a way to make it work.
So John, what would you say is the first step in getting a loan or buying a house?
The first step that anyone should do when they're looking at buying a house is to research out a local lender. In today's real estate market, it's very important to find and talk to a local lender and really be able to get to a position to where you actually know exactly what you're able to afford, and what your credit looks like, and just to learn all about the loan products in general to make sure you're getting the best possible loan. And with a local lender, that's where you're going to get that information. Right. They can definitely help you with that.
What credit score is needed for someone to qualify for a loan?
Good question. The first thing that you want to do, or that any buyer would want to do when they actually find that lender that they feel comfortable with and they want to use, is to make an appointment and to start the application process. And part of that application process is getting the credit pulled and find out exactly what their credit score is. There's several different loan programs out there available for all buyers. And typically the minimum credit score to qualify is around a 580 credit score.
Okay, cool.
There are programs that go down to 550 with certain restrictions, but the common baseline is 580 for a credit score.
Cool. You had mentioned getting the process started. Is there a quick, easy way for someone to do that with you? Should they call you, go online?
Absolutely. There's a couple of different ways that someone can actually get pre-qualified. They can either call me in person, or we can do it over the phone. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, a pretty simple process.
Cool.
And I can give them pretty much direction at that point of what they can qualify for, and if I'm confident that we can get something done for them. They can do an application through my Facebook page, Buwalda Mortgage Services Inc., by clicking the sign up button.
Okay.
Once they fill out some quick questions, it comes right to my email, and I'm able to transfer that data into my system and do a quick pre-qualification with that as well.
And I'll make sure to include the link at the bottom of the video here, so that way you guys can access it quickly if you're thinking about getting a house.
Awesome. And then they also can do it on their mobile device. They can text LOAN for you, LOAN, the number 4 and the letter U, to 48421. And if you can want to do it at the liberty of using your mobile device, that's an easy way too. And also comes right to my email, and we can import it directly from there as well.
Okay. So John, I get this question a lot, I'm sure you do too. Interest rates, people want to know, is now a good time to buy? Should they wait? Are interest rates going to go down even more? So what are your thoughts on
That's
that?
a great question. I get that question every single day as well. Interest rates are at an all-time low. As I mentioned earlier, I've been in the business for many, many years. I've been in the business when interest rates were low back in 06, 07, 08 when the market was just going crazy.
Right.
And in the information that I'm reading and from my experience, the interest rates are pretty much right back to where they were at that time.
Right.
So now is an excellent time to buy or even next time to refinance if they already own a home.
Mm-hmm. And maybe even move up. So say someone back, when interest rates were really low, purchased their first home or whatever,
right?
And maybe now's a good time to move up. Still get that low interest rate, but maybe a little bit more expensive, bigger house.
Exactly.
It's
a great time to do that.
Yeah.
And one thing to add to that too is because I field this question every day, multiple times a day. What's your interest rate? What's your interest rate? As a consumer, you definitely want to keep in mind that interest rate and cost for the loan go hand in hand. Okay.
What's that mean?
Well, whenever you're buying a house, there's closing costs involved. Typically, those are title, escrow fees, and any fees that a lender or bank might charge. And I think that's where we actually are a step above the rest, because typically our closing costs on an average home size of roughly $250,000 to $300,000 is around $5,500.
Right.
And we talk about that a lot.
Yes.
Where most other companies might be a little bit higher. So when you're shopping for an interest rate, you might call 10 different places and you might get 10 different interest rate quotes. Mm-hmm. They're never going to be the same. Mm-hmm. Because they all vary based on what you're also being charged. So it's very important to shop and compare both interest rate and fee structures. And when you're doing that, and we're trying to get you the best rate possible, make sure that you're comparing apples to apples.
What's the easiest way for someone to compare apples to apples?
The best way and the only way is to get what they call a loan estimate.
Okay.
In order to compare apples to apples with whoever you're talking to, that will actually be a full disclosure to you of what you're being charged for the rate that you're being
So
quoted.
that's just something that's emailed to them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anybody that's given a quote on a rate should be able to provide a loan estimate in a very timely manner.
Cool.
If I was asked to do that, I can do that within 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, great.
So it's very important as a consumer when you're out shopping for a home or moving up, as you said, always shop and compare and make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Okay, so now the buyer knows what their interest rate is going to be. They know that they qualify for a home.
Correct.
I'm sure you go over this next with them. How much money is needed for a down payment?
Right.
I'm sure it's different based on the loan type.
Absolutely.
But what is the norm?
Well, let me just go over a couple different loan programs. The most prominent loan program that I'm seeing right now with the military expanding and more is the VA loan. And that's one of the best loans out there. That's 100% financing.
Right.
And the pricing and the rates on that are awesome.
Right.
And we're doing a lot of those out there. So that's obviously number one. But for non-military people, the next potential option could be a USDA loan.
Okay.
USDA is more prevalent in certain areas, Lemoore, Armona, Corcoran, Kalamazoo City, Coalinga. It's
rural areas.
Yeah, rural areas. And that's also 100% financing, which is a great opportunity for some buyers that are out there looking at homes.
They may not have any money.
Absolutely.
For a lot of
Riverdale, yeah, that's one.
Right.
So we're doing a lot of those.
Right.
The next option is an FHA loan.
Okay.
Typically on an FHA loan, the minimum down payment is 3.5% down. That's
of the purchase price.
Of the purchase price,
okay.
Correct. There is some down payment assistance out there that can help with that 3.5% that we also can entertain. There are certain caveats that the borrower or any consumer would have to qualify for in order to meet that particular requirement to have access to that.
But you go over the options.
Absolutely.
What's the best loan for each individual?
And what's most cost effective.
Okay, right.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And then you've got conventional loans, which we can do as low as 3% down.
Okay.
So in just a rough few minutes, that's basically what the options are for the minimum down payments required for several loan programs that we work with.
Okay, so now the buyer has found the house that they want and they're ready to go move forward with the loan process.
Yes.
How long does it take from start to finish for them to move into that house?
Right, another good question. Typically, we get the transactions done within 30 days. There are instances that we need to get a rush, we can get it done sooner.
Okay.
So there is opportunity out there for loans that get done within as little as 3 weeks. Sometimes, maybe even less than
Right.
that, depending
And I
on.
think we've done that a couple of times.
Absolutely. So if the need arises where it has to be done sooner than 30 days, and that's communicated to all parties involved in the transaction, and we know that from the beginning, we can make that happen.
Awesome.
We've done as little as 14 days.
Okay.
So
roughly around 30.
That's-
Expect to get it done within 30
That's
days.
that's pretty much a good baseline
Yeah.
to
1 month isn't that long of a time. Most people should be able to accommodate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If needed. John, so you're one of my preferred lenders, my go-to people. But I'd love to hear from you why you believe that a buyer should use you. What differentiates you from the other lenders?
Well, as you know, I'm very passionate about what I do.
Right.
I have built a great team with my wife Sarah, Anne Marie, and Cheryl in my office.
Yeah.
And I think it starts, number one, with the service that we can provide. I think I have the top-notch team that provides one of the best service for our business around. The next thing I think is most important is product knowledge. I think with my over 30 years of banking and mortgage experience, I've seen a lot of things, and I think with that knowledge, I feel that you're going to have a better success rate at getting deals done, in not only a timely manner, but making sure we're placing the potential buyer with the right loan product.
Absolutely.
And the third thing is my pricing and my fee structure. I've really focused on trying to make sure that I can provide you, the consumer, or your potential buyers, with the best possible rate at the lowest, cheapest cost. And that's really what I focus on. And I think those three things are the keys to why I feel that we are one of the top local lenders here in this area. And we love what we do. We're passionate about what we do.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming in.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Hopefully that was good information for you guys out there. If you have any questions, whatever, for John, for me, reach out to me. DM, call, text, email. You can get a hold of me if you need to. I work 24/7, so don't worry about calling me too late, whatever. I'm always available for you. Have a good one.
Thank you.